Oh, hey, what's up, Steve?
Hey, Steve. Did you see Alex? He was looking for you. Hey, dude. What are you, baking a cake? What?
Three rad dudes with nothing better to do get abducted by the crew of the Starship Alpha 2. They're from the planet Q, which, due to a space-time loop, is stuck in 82 and must be rescued. They need our heroes to discuss the latest news and give their reviews of games and movies too. Sure hope you're not confused. We swear this is all true, not just the premise to the Totally Rad Show.
Totally rad show, totally rad, totally rad show, totally rad, totally rad show, totally rad, totally rad show, totally rad show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 32. I'm Guile from Street Fighter.
I'm the greatest American hero.
And I'm George with a quattro on my belly.
Dude, happy Halloween,
Happy
boys!
Halloween!
Happy
First
Halloween.
Totally Rad Halloween. And I know
awesome.
I've always talked about Guile's, my hair, and I was like, I gotta hook it
I
up.
think you guys did awesome with your costumes.
I think you guys did
did
awesome with,
awesome.
with
Thank
your
you.
costumes.
You know, about Halloween costumes,
Yes.
every Halloween, one of the things that I love most about Halloween is making the costume. Not making it in the sense of going to the Goodwill and collecting the elements and figuring out how to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I never understood the people that would just buy the package thing and go home and put it on.
Well,
really
yeah,
didn't.
I'll tell you guys later when we go trick-or-treating about my history with making costumes. It wasn't always...
As gorgeous as this
I don't know if you can tell, but at one point in my
you
life, I wasn't as talented.
artistically inclined. This was actually one of the easiest costumes to get because I just went to an army surplus store and got a tank top, this, and then bought the muscle shirt and then my hair. Booyah! So we want to thank Avenwell.
Yeah, he's our buddy.
Dude.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
The guy who does
The
all our
coolest-
sickest backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Boom.
most amazing Halloween
We can't-
background ever.
Best Halloween thing. It's crazy. We also want to say that we went to Screamfest here in Los Angeles.
Very Halloween-y activity for us to do.
Yeah, we
It's
actually
cool.
got invited by the director Jeff Betancourt, either
Yeah.
way, of Boogeyman 2, which I will go out on a limb and say I was not planning on seeing. But I have to
saw
say,
Boogeyman 1. Did
I
you
saw
guys see-
Boogeyman
I
1,
did
of
see
course,
Boogeyman
yeah,
1.
and it was
It's
Barry
horrible.
Barry Watson from Party of Five, or not Party of Five, the other thing, Seventh Heaven was the guy that I was trying to think who looks like Skeet Ulrich. But I have to say, Jeff, dude,
Boogeyman 2 is good.
really good. I was very
I mean,
impressed.
honestly, it's good.
Yeah.
What I love about it is that it's good because our dude...
Yes, is
who-
good.
He first of all, he's an editor. He edited movies like The Good Girl and Chuck and Buck, and then movies like The Grudge and
Other movies. Yeah.
and Grudge 2. But and this is his first time directing a movie, and it really is
Yeah.
good. The script not so amazing, but what he does,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I would even say,
Creating
and I'm
moments
pretty
of
sure we all
tension.
agree, there's one moment in specific that
dude.
is
He
on the
holds-
par with all the greatest moments in horror movies.
Yes.
Agreed.
Agreed.
He holds tension past the point where you're just clawing your seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually had a moment where I said, if X happens, this guy is genius, and X happened, and I said,
Yeah,
well, that's
so
all
Jeff-
I needed. So, Jeff, you're a
It's-
genius.
yeah.
It's got a very Nightmare
thanks
on Elm
for-
Street 3 Dream Warriors
Yeah.
vibe to it, which is
Totally
very
cool. And
Yeah.
thank
Although
you,
no
Jeff,
Dungeon Master.
for so much for inviting us to the screening, which
Yeah,
was
dude.
sold out.
Yeah, it comes out in January on DVD.
Yeah.
Right? So it definitely not a straight to DVD
type movie.
type movie.
No,
it's
you should
actually
go get
very
it.
cool.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Shall we just break into this? Break forth the rhythm and the
Halloween
rhyme?
style.
Shall
Well, let's
we
get out of
get
these
into
costumes and talk about some stuff.
Let's get out of
Yeah.
these costumes, and we'll be back.
And And the movie this week is GBG.
Yep.
Gone, baby, gone.
Another title akin to Gone in 60 Seconds, which is sort of unfortunate for movies. Right? Gone, baby, gone. I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah, I
You
think
knew
that's
that.
probably what
It's
they were
like-
thinking when...
I wish they were.
Like naming the
So-
movie The Bomb.
Right, yeah.
Got it.
So,
Watchy.
yeah, a few years ago, Ben Affleck won an Academy Award.
Many years
For
ago.
Good Will Hunting. Yeah, many of a few years.
Many of a few.
But he's back in Boston now with a
With a bro dog.
adaptation. His directorial debut, an adaptation of a Dennis Lehane book, same guy who wrote Mystic River, also
Yes.
similar setting and similar tone. But it's about a PI couple, Casey Affleck and Michelle Monaghan, who are of this neighborhood where a little girl is kidnapped, and they are trying to find her.
It's funny that
And hilarity ensues.
It's funny that
Yeah.
you mentioned it that way. It's interesting.
So, yeah, what did you think?
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Definitely has some flaws that I could tell. I thought it was very interesting that you. I think the reason why, because people were like, oh, so critics were saying it's like amazing and oh my God, Ben Affleck's so great, and I was like, well, that's because it's not directed horribly, and it's the guy was part of Bennifer, for fuck's sake. So the fact that it's not atrocious is why the critics are going, oh my God, it's so well directed, because like Jesus, he could do that. I had some major issues. One, I thought it was interesting that you said PI couple, because I found it like, why was this girl being dragged into these situations where she was clearly not able to handle herself, and that was only done to add drama. You know what I mean? Like, she's getting taken by her boyfriend to meet a drug dealer, and then when he, disrespects her, which is clearly not that big a deal, he like goes up. So there were a lot of things like that, and I felt the morality stuff at the end to me didn't play. I felt like it didn't seem like a choice the character would have made in my eyes. And the other thing is that I really don't like it when people think that they're being M. Night Shyamalan and they make a big deal about a reveal that everybody knows is coming. You know what I mean? They're like, zoom in, what the fuck? And it's like, yeah, we all saw that, so why did you make a big deal? So to me, it seemed like maybe Ben Affleck didn't get that what he was actually telling in that moment, so that he didn't believe that the audience would know that was going to happen. And I also don't like the flashbacks, voiceover flashbacks that like put it all together in the car.
I love the movie. I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was every bit as good as Mystic River, which I also loved. I'm a big Dennis Lehane fan. I read Shutter Island. Actually, the only book of his I've read, so I shouldn't say I'm a big fan of his. But I'm a fan of the two movies that have been made of his work, and Shutter Island, which I think is going to eventually make a fantastic film. The husband and wife team. I think there's 4 books or 5 books of them
They
as.
weren't married. They were just a
I'm sorry, not husband and wife, but yes, the male-female couple.
Maybe she was just totally
PI.
miscast, and I didn't buy it.
I love the morality stuff. I love the fact that I walked out of this movie and was struggling myself to know where I stand on this issue, and I think that that's a strength of Dennis Lehane, because that's the same thing that happens in Mystic River, and it's such powerful storytelling. I thought that I love how the story unfolds, how it sort of has an end and then it isn't an end, and the way everything plays out, I was hook, line, and sinker. I was crying at the end. It was. I loved it every bit as much as I loved Mystic River, which to me was the challenge. I walked in going, is Ben Affleck going to be as good as Clint Eastwood in this situation? And I think he freaking delivered. It was.
Yeah, I also loved. I really, really, really loved.
Yeah.
That's so
I thought
funny
that
to me.
he just like in Good Will Hunting, so natural, and the people use. The casting of real people, or what at least seemed like real people,
of course.
and the slice of life moments were so of our world, and the words people use are so the words that people actually use in life. And the friendship situations in Good Will Hunting were so akin to all the relationships in this, where people really talk like friends in that movie, and people really. and Casey Affleck was amazing. I liked the couple thing. I liked it to a fault almost because I was like, wow, this just must be the relationship. They are just the couple that's always together. The only thing I didn't like was that I didn't get to know why she was very brave, I felt, and I wanted to know what would make her that awesome in that situation, because she was so not the
She wasn't
typical
awesome in any of the
female.
situations. She was just brave to get into the situation.
Right, but most women would have, the second that gun would have been pointed at her.
But she didn't do anything in the
But I
situation.
think that was her role in the thing.
Right.
But anyway,
Dramatic
I loved how casual setups were in this movie. There was no clunky exposition. There was a character that he was a cop, and he was just walking in the hallway in an earlier scene, and then later on he's like a pivotal character who has some information, and there was some information that was a bit of a twist that you caught if you were listening to the conversation. It wasn't like a big dun 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 reveal. I can't really talk
you mean
about
dropping the name or whatever?
Yeah. Dropping.
How great was the woman that played the mother of the child?
Awesome.
Such a difficult role to make seem true, and when you do make it seem true, I think you don't get enough credit because it seems like that's you.
Right, yeah.
But
like,
just a great performance.
And I do want to say, I thought this was a good movie. This is not a bad movie in any situation. I just don't think it was a great movie because I had such a big problem with, after taking that girl into that first bar, no guy in his right mind would take his girlfriend anywhere else. The next step up is a drug dealer? You know what I mean? Like, unless this guy
she's his partner.
Superman.
She's his partner.
I guess I didn't get that relationship at all.
Courageous move earlier on that he didn't make himself.
What?
Right.
To jump.
Also,
every gunshot.
I was going to bring that up just now.
Every gunshot.
Yeah,
Haunting.
Jumping moments. Yeah.
Shitball.
But
to me, the most realistic gunshot sounds I've ever heard in a movie because they're piercing.
Miami Vice had very realistic.
It was a terrible movie, but I'm dead serious. It's less about the tone quality and more about the fact that they just come out of nowhere to sort of spook you. It was really good, but I just, for me, the whole like ending, like trying to reveal, and maybe it's because I will say that I felt pretty much the same way about Mystic River. Like, it was a good movie. Gosh. I enjoyed it. You would enjoy it if you went to see it, but I was definitely not on the big, like, this is amazing train.
My only problem, I think Ben Affleck did an amazing job. My only issues are that most of the movie was covered, like,
real tight.
It was a close-up of this guy, and a close-up of this guy, and a close-up of this, to cut to a close, like, in conversation, and that was very unartful, when so much of his other choices was great, masterful
The other
thinking.
thing we have to say is Ed Harris. Ed Harris is a fucking genius. It was literally his end, like one of his end speeches, where I was like, "Oh my god, this is the same guy from It did. I totally forgot that he played the guy in Eastern Promises. I mean, I knew that it was him, but it was like a moment where I went, "Oh my god, you're the." Oh no, that was Viggo Mortensen. Yeah. That's why I was like,
"That's not."
That's why that moment was so big for me. History of Violence. Yeah.
No, he's great in this movie. Morgan Freeman is great in this movie.
Yeah. Although I wish Morgan Freeman was, I don't know, I didn't. He's just really good.
There's a monologue he gives about halfway through that struck me in such a way because he threw it away. It was such a powerful monologue, but he just.
Yeah, but that's him.
The biggest shame about this.
Great.
No, I know, but
to me, the thing that stinks is that we can't talk about the best part about the movie, which is the moral dilemmas. And
one of the parts
I urge people. I urge people to talk about it in the forums, and I want to chat about it afterwards. And I think that's the greatest thing that this is a movie that when you walk out of it,
you talk.
You don't necessarily need to be talking about if you like the movie or not, but you can be talking about the issues that it brings up.
It's just great.
Definitely, most definitely.
All right. So that being said, it's Halloween.
Yes.
Ooh.
Wait, what? No.
And last week we talked about what was your favorite scary movie or scary moment from a movie as a kid.
Yes. Well, not favorite.
Scariest.
Or scariest.
I was like, I don't think it was my favorite. And I totally forgot to mention Serpent in the Rainbow, which I saw maybe 10 minutes of and scarred me for a month.
Yeah, the trailers.
I saw the actual movie.
That's a good minute to scar ratio.
It is. It's great. Huge is really what it is.
So, and now as an adult, what in recent years has been?
You know, I've often complained that as a more savvy moviegoer that things don't affect me in the same way. But I guess that's not really true because, I mean,
I peed myself 2 days ago watching it.
I was really scared and affected by The Ring.
Yeah, that's a good
I was really scared and affected by The Sixth Sense.
Mm-hmm.
I remember both of those.
Yeah.
Clutching the chair that I was watching, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's interesting that you bring up The Ring, because I'm actually going to say The Eye, which was another Japanese.
The remake is coming out very soon.
Yeah, not the remake though. I saw the original
out.
in theater, and it was like, holy crap! It starts, and you're just like, this is not going to be cool.
Not when you walk around the hospital.
Yeah. Oh, it's just not going to be cool. And then the other thing I mean, in a great way. Like I'm going to be scared out of my ass way. But the other thing I'll say is the Exorcism of Emily Rose.
didn't see that.
There are moments.
By Jeff Betancourt, who we just talked about.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
There were moments in that. I mean, from beginning to end, it's not horrible scare fest, but there are freaking moments. The single scariest scene I've ever seen. Boyfriend wakes up and she's literally contorted on the ground, staring at him. When he's like, as long as she's been sleeping, she wakes up and she's literally in the corner, like completely contorted, looking right. If you're not scared at that scene,
Are you, Danny?
It's an effed up scene. I remember that.
Yeah.
I said it on the show and I'll say it again. A Tale of Two Sisters, I think, like The Eye and The Ring.
It was the best of times. It was the scariest of times.
The best of the Asian horror flicks for me, and that has great jump scares that come after a slow burn, but it also has, I would like to call it the good slow jump. Where it's not the jump, it's the slow, creepy moment that's building and building and building, and you're like, make it stop.
That's like what we were just talking about in Boogeyman 2.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think you guys have ever seen, and you need to see,
The Witches of Eastwick.
No, our Altar Boys, Dangerous Life of Altar Boys. Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
No.
You, first of all, you need to see it. You really need to see it. It's about
Not so much.
coming of age kids who draw
That means it's
comics
just a
together.
good movie.
Oh, wow.
And
that
and it has
is
these animated sequences done by Todd McFarlane.
Oh, cool.
And it's Emile Hirsch's first performance, or first movie, and it's there's a scene with him and Jenna Malone in an attic, and it's not a scary movie, it's not a horror movie.
Right.
It's a Stand By Me coming of age movie, but there's one moment in this movie,
Scary.
holy bejesus, and an
So
old lady
good
pops out.
Halloween viewing.
Haunty
Yes, all of
duties.
them.
So it's video games, and we're talking about scary video games.
Yeah.
What's scarier than hell in London? A gate to hell in London. We've been playing Hellgate London. You guys played the demo.
Yes.
I played the beta.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first game from Flagship Studios, which is the new production company that was started by Bill Roper and Eric Schaefer, guys who worked in Blizzard on Diablo and Warcraft and stuff like that. So this has been a big game coming out.
That's really funny.
A lot of people think of it as the spiritual successor to Diablo 2 because there hasn't been a Diablo 3 yet. Blizzard, please.
Or
make that game.
Diablo 2 or 3.
Right. So Dan, you played the demo,
I played the demo.
and what did you come away thinking? I've been very much anticipating this game.
Yeah.
It's been in development forever.
I was excited based on your excitement.
Yes.
Because I didn't really. Oh, but then I did see something that looked cool for sure. After playing it, I think it's one of those games for me that is like a combination of many different genres that does each of those genres less good than games that are that specific genre. Like, it's kind of like a MMO, but not really, and it's not as enjoyable as leveling in this game is not as fun as leveling in WoW. Fighting in this game is not as fun as fighting in Heavenly Sword or something else.
Because it sort of has that FPS / third-person shootery vibe with the combat.
Right.
It's kind of a hybrid game,
right,
in a lot of ways.
Basically, yeah, it's not as fun as any first-person shooter. It's not as fun as any hack and slash, and it's not as fun as any MMO. Sorry for clapping. Yeah, for me.
What about you, Alex?
Samesies. Can we just say samesies? I mean, I was really disappointed. I feel the same way I felt when I played Tabula Rasa. You know, super linear, super repetitive. I ended up playing it as a first-person shooter because the marksman in the third-person view is just really unplayable. There's no lock-on system, so you're just kind of, the point and shoot. It reminds me of what they've done to Star Wars Galaxies, but with zombies. And I liked. The world was really cool, but the world is very linear. You can't go into any of the buildings. You can't. It's like this, and to me, it's like what you said. You want this to be the path, but to feel like you chose that, not that it said go in this hole, and you go in the hole, and it's like here's a line. At the end of the line is nothing. And then you put the hole down that takes you back to the other place, and then you get into another hole.
I get that. That's a valid criticism. It's interesting. I've been reading a lot of stuff online of people who have been very down on the demo because it's a game that is very much been anticipated by a lot of people. I suspected you guys had this opinion because I kind of could tell there was no enthusiasm.
Right.
I love this game. I'm having a blast with this game, and I'm wondering, because I didn't play the demo, I'm wondering if there's a giant difference between the demo and the beta.
What do you do?
I find the combat to be very fun. I tried 3 different classes.
There's only 2 in the demo.
Yeah, well, I mean, the beta presumably has the entire game.
Right.
But there's like magic, and I thought this would be right up your alley. It's magic and tech. The items are so cool.
We didn't get any magic in the demo.
Yeah, I was a blade master.
Yeah.
I was a marksman guy.
Well, there's a arcane, I think they're called. I played as an engineer, and you can create bots that like go around with you. I played a summoner, where you have like little demons that it's basically
like overlord.
Yeah. And right away they give you these skills to have demons. You don't have to work up. You don't have to get to level 10 before you get your first.
This begs the conversation of why put out a demo.
Well, I don't know. I wish I had played the demo because I want to know if I just liked it and you guys didn't, or if there was some actual difference between the experience in the demo and the experience that I'm having in the beta, because I'm having chat. I mean, there's chat going on, and I'm reading what people are
in the demo. There's no other people.
Right. Well, I'm reading what people are saying, and there's in the chat log, I'm seeing people, can't wait to the 31st when this comes out, which is today.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, because I've been playing WoW, and this is so much more fun. First of all, graphics, awesome.
Well, but we need to say the fact that it doesn't fucking run. It doesn't work.
I didn't have that problem.
I have an $8,000 computer. And you had the same frame rate problem.
Because I was playing at 1900 by 1200. When I reduced the resolution, I didn't have to take down any of the settings.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have to. I have an $8,000. I have the top of the line computer you can get right now.
Yeah.
And I have to take the settings down. I mean, it's not Crysis. And and when I was in the world, it's not like it blew my mind. I mean, it's like, plus there's something. It's too like crisp. It's almost like. It's so crisp you can see the lack of world detail or the lack of map design. You know what I mean?
I think that's a valid criticism. And honestly, my biggest worry about the game is that there's not going to be enough variety.
Yeah.
That,
I got
it's
bored
just
in the demo,
all
and there's
London.
Only 4 instances.
Yeah. Interesting. The other game we've been playing a lot of this week is Ratchet and Clank Tools
Destruction.
Yeah,
Destruction.
Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction for the PS3, which. Another game that was very highly anticipated by yours truly. This and Little Big Planet.
Damn it.
Were the 2 reasons I got a PS3. I freaking love these type of games. Alex, we all played a bunch of it together.
Yeah, which was actually really fun. I didn't play any of the previous ones, but I have to say, first off, again, I hate to bring this up, but boy, did this make me feel like they did not really run the graphics package on Halo 3. I mean, I'm looking at the graphics and I'm going, are you kidding me? This is a game about a freaking Larwax or whatever and a fucking robot, and I feel like this game looks better than Halo 3.
Well, it's a gorgeous game.
It's a gorgeous game, super fun gameplay. I've never played any of the Ratchet and Clanks. I had a blast personally. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit because I know it's the type of game that I would enjoy playing but would never play by myself. Mm-hmm. And so, like you took the copy that we got a copy to test around and you took it and I was fine with that. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I know, because I had it, I played a little bit and then was like, okay, I'll play World of Warcraft.
It's kind of a hybrid platformer and shooter.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, it's platform. I mean,
but it's that weapons-based.
Yeah, which is great. But when you go into the third-person mode, it's not playable that way. But So it's like, and then I'm still not in love with the fact that I guess every Sony game has to be forced to use some sort of weird motion
Six-axis.
control because it's totally arbitrary and it just sort of felt like it was thrown in there. Maybe it got better. I don't know.
Dan, you played a lot of the previous Ratchet and Clanks, right?
Yeah. Well, I played the second one. It really, to me, is the exact same. Not that this is a bad thing, but it is the exact same game with better graphics. The gameplay is
Zelda.
The gameplay is exactly the same. The
Other players.
It's the formula. The formula they're
is
going
there.
through.
What bums me out is that just like in the other one, the beginning levels are super easy, and it doesn't start to really get awesome until the later levels, like when you start flying in the ship, which I didn't get to play, but you said you could talk about. The art design was very episode 1. Every time we hit a new level, we were all like, "Oh, this is Tatooine. This is
it was very
this is
Star
where
Wars,
Jar Jar's from. This is where whatever."
Yeah.
Fun. This is my favorite kind of game, third-person platformer type of thing. So I look forward to playing more of it. But it would have been nice if it's like, I said this wasn't a bad thing, but it would have been nice if it was something a little bit better, like the difference between Prince of Persia on the PC and then Prince of Persia when it came out for this console was
but
holy
then
crap.
Then 3 more Prince of Persias came out that were pretty much the same.
Yeah, but I don't know, just better graphics. Would have liked time.
Yeah, but
going
those
back
better
in time,
graphics
or-
are
I don't know.
Sort of
amazing.
Prince of Persia-esque time manipulation.
But what that did to the gameplay
I
of
know
a
exactly what you mean.
platformer, I would love
exactly what
some new fun thing to happen.
Yeah.
you can't break the recipe every time.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
The graphics, there's a whole thing about graphics versus gameplay, and I don't want to get into that, but when you have reached the point, which you have in this game, where you are literally playing an 3D animated cartoon,
Right.
where the cutscenes look movie quality and they are in-engine, seamlessly integrated into the gameplay, that is worthwhile. That right there, I'm already excited about.
Yeah.
I love these type of games. I liked the previous Ratchet and Clanks. I love Jack and Daxter. I loved. There's a great game for the first Xbox that was really overlooked by people called Metal Arms, Glitch in the System. That is fantastic. It's that same upgrade your weapons.
Yeah.
And this is Insomnia, so these guys know how to make. Their calling card is weird, interesting weapons, and there are a ton of weapons in this game, and they're really fun to use, and you get a lot of choice in how to upgrade them.
I felt like I was getting the same joy I had when I played the first Crash Bandicoot, where I was like, oh man, this is just pure fun, crazy, zany, awesome.
And then fun with the weapons thing comes in deciding what to use when against what kind of
exactly.
It's sort of
you
like
were a
that
grenade
WoW
launcher
mentality.
guy. I was a Predator missile.
But I
guy.
like it if there's multiple guys, I got to use the one that hits the predator.
Yeah, right.
Thing. If there's just a group of guys, that's a bomb time. That's kind of the fun.
Jeff, did you find it any easier later on changing weapons? Because we had a little bit of a problem where you would get into the situation, you go, I need weapon X, and you would be like, triangle, move it.
Wolverine
I think that's
doesn't
the one.
really exist in the world of Weapon X.
That's good. That's a good one.
Nice. I think that the controls are a little clunky in the game. That game I mentioned, Metal Arms, had a really slick control scheme where you could change weapons on the fly, and you had one weapon tied to your left arm and one tied to your right arm, and you could mix and match how you want. This game you have to pause the game and switch, and there are so many
weapons.
weapons.
Expectation.
It's too easy. I think that doesn't provide the challenge that I would hope for, but it's fun. It's great. It's got great graphics. It's a must-buy PS3 game as far as I'm concerned. So
let's go play some more.
Yeah.
Halloween.
All
Hallows Eve.
I miss trick-or-treating.
My costumes.
Yeah.
1 year I went as Captain Power.
Yes, I know Captain Power very well.
But that was merely like a motorcycle helmet, and like I didn't really. How can you actually be that guy? They didn't sell his stuff, but I had this gun and I had a motorcycle helmet, so everyone was like, "Oh, you're like a motorcycle." Like, no, Captain Power. No one knew.
I wish that I could be there to hear him actually talk like that.
And then
no, he's like you know, his concepts for costumes are so outlandish. Like, you went as Data.
I went as Data in the shower from...
The shower from...
Karate Kid.
Genius. For me, I was way more bread and butter, right? Went as Batman. My buddy went as Robin. It's cool. But I also went as Marty McFly.
That's great.
Yeah.
You had the vest.
The vest and the flannel. It was genius. So when was the last time that you guys actually went trick-or-treating? Like, when did you phase out? Did you go in college?
No.
Did we
didn't go-
just
I don't
all
think I
of a
went to
sudden-
high school either.
Elementary school. When
I
you went to
didn't-
junior high, was it?
I mean, other
I
than
didn't go.
today.
I didn't go in high school, but I will say, and while we go walking through the dog kennel in the valley, but I went in college. I got to
You know what I
experience
remember
that
most
in college.
about trick or treating is getting home and sorting the candy.
Yes.
And there was the trading.
Yes,
And
definitely
you always
trades.
Cutting it in half.
But yeah, there was always that like chocolate go over here.
I would
fruit
rank.
stuff go over
I would
here.
rank the
Oh,
best
yes.
ones were the like almost a whole bar.
Yeah, and then they get smaller and smaller down to like little bite-sized things.
Yeah. I remember one
Probably
epic
should.
year that will live in infamy when I
I
actually
love it, your
got,
cape swirling in the wind. I remember this epic year.
actually got what are those things called? The fun something or other. The
Fun dip?
Fun dip. Oh, dude,
I-
yes.
It was a house that was giving out fun dip.
Those are amazing. With the candy, with the candy
That
stick.
was the most divine stick of candy you could ever imagine.
Well, it's just a pressed sugar stick.
Yes.
The best part was we had one guy that would put out a bucket of nickels.
What?
And a sign that says, please take one.
Wow.
What?
That was his Halloween, was I'm gonna put out a bucket of nickels. Now I get why cosplay is so fun. You know what I mean?
Well,
like going
you're
to
about to be
like when
here.
we went to Star Wars and right, if I went to a video game, if I went to E3 like this, I'd be totally cosplay.
Yeah.
Well, shall we wrap
Alright.
this up with some good old fashioned
Well, let's go in and say trick or treat.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. We can go across the grass. I know these people.
Let's check out for the bucket full of nickels.
So continuing our theme of Halloween. You're not even doing it. There you go. We're doing a comic book section. I've gotten a little bit of criticism in the forums and in the emails of people saying, hey, you're focusing too much on Marvel. Where are the mainstream DC superhero comics? DC
I was
represent.
trying to do
Actually,
that,
I think
but-
you just did OC.
Yeah.
So I thought, what
Wonderful television series. Wonderful.
Amazing.
I thought, what better graphic novel or trade for us to read for this time of year than Batman Long Halloween, which is the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale
Yep.
seminal work,
Yes.
Batman work. And Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, of course, both work on Heroes, the TV show.
Yes.
Jeff Loeb is an executive producer, I believe, and Tim Sale does all the art for...
Did him. He did season 1, right? Because now someone else is doing season 2.
For the
No,
artwork?
he's the guy who's now doing... He did all the work, I believe. I'm pretty sure. They were doing... When
Supposedly
Why
no
change
one.
your intonation
When-
to say no? This
when
is-
We're not joking
Sylar drew stuff, it was somebody
different
else.
I don't
It was-
remember anymore. It's
All right,
doesn't
doesn't
screen
matter.
anyway. So
Just saying dance. Stop.
Anyway, so Batman Long Halloween is a sort of continuation of the Batman Year One universe that Frank Miller started. And Batman is a character that has a long history of sort of out of continuity standalone stories, of which this is one. And it's a murder mystery about this mobster, the Roman, and his people start getting killed off. His mobster cronies start getting killed off, one on every holiday. And it's a 13-issue thing that was collected into a trade. And each issue is a different month of the year, starting with Halloween and ending on Halloween. And so every month has a holiday in it, and someone gets killed on a holiday in Batman. And it's sort of the origin story, retelling, reimagining origin story of Two-Face.
Yes.
The Batman villain Two-Face.
Yes.
Alex, have you read much Batman? Many Batman?
No, I had one like a big, really old Batman and Robin thing. I think I might still have. I should see if I have it. From when I was like really, really young. Bought it at like a garage sale when I was like 8. You know what I mean? But no, I mean this is sort of now. I mean, you know, getting back into comics or getting into comics for the first time. Really, I I've really been experiencing Marvel. And even when we were in Comic-Con, I mentioned to you, I was like, I don't want to just be a Marvel guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to know some of the DC characters again. And I have to say, I really enjoyed reading this.
It's a great.
It was really, really good. It's a super fast read, and I read it in the course of a night, basically. And I found it a little bit like it was, you know, Batman the Cameo Edition. Because every single bad guy that he has or ever will face was in this book.
Well,
so,
if only that were true. He has hundreds.
I know,
yes.
but it was just like every new week it was like, well, no, now it was, you know, Scarecrow and, you know, the Mad Hatter. And you're like, really?
Right.
You went that far down to get the Mad Hatter, did you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or, you know, my favorite character actually was the Simon Grundy guy.
Yeah.
Or Solomon Grundy. That was my
Born
favorite
on a
character.
Monday.
Yeah. I loved the sort of moral tension in the book.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, how far would you go to stop crime? Would it involve actual crime? You know what I mean? Like that whole thing.
Similar to the movie we reviewed this evening.
But it really good, you know? So I really loved that. I thought it, yeah, I just really liked it. I had a blast. I thought it was a little twisty at the end. Like, really, you could have just stopped one twist too many. You know what I mean? But I mean, you got to realize people literally took that long to read all of these.
Right,
You know what I mean? I got to sit down and read them and be like, oh, I'm done. That was fun.
Yeah.
So I felt like there's a lot of like recap at the beginning. But I was like, well,
What about?
I love the twist because
I love
because
the
it was kind of like the
twists,
whole
but
book.
not
I'm like,
all.
wow, it's crazy how I read this a while ago. I don't even think I made it to the end when I first read it. I didn't like it.
Really?
Many years
Huh.
ago. Yeah. I mean, it came out in like
96, 97.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed reading it this time. I didn't love it, but I really enjoyed. The twists make it because it's a bold thing to the whole time make you feel like there's not going to be a twist.
Right.
You're waiting for them to catch up to what you know.
Right, yeah.
And you feel it's very obvious. And then they twist it, and you're like, oh, cool. And then they twist it again, and you're like, great.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about it, I don't know. It's very. It's
What I
very.
like about it, I don't know.
It opens identical to Godfather, literally scene for scene, beat for beat. It's the opening book is wedding, and the cops that are checking the license plate on the cars in Godfather is Harvey Dent, and there's people asking a favor in the inside room, looking through the blinds of the wedding, exactly like Godfather. And this is the real world Batman. This is like
Batman Begins style.
right. And I was saying, well, this book I'm pretty sure was Christopher Nolan's reference for Batman Begins, and I'm sure it will be reference for
But this and Year One, and I mean
Yeah.
that universe's look at
right. But isn't Two-Face in Dark Knight?
I that's the rumor. I
Right.
hope.
So
they cast a Harvey Dent.
But this is definitely because and it has Carmine Falcone, who perfect for using that as reference for that movie, and enjoyable in this because it places Batman against a real world guy,
Right.
as opposed to superhero, and sort of brings those two worlds together, which was the first
that's
time.
interesting.
No, and I have to say that my only other favorite superhero Man in Tights comic is Superman, Man of All Seasons, which is also Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb.
Yep.
You need to read that. That should be. I mean,
great.
that is what. That is. I thought that was the first because I was younger when I read it. I thought that was the origin story. I thought that was the first Superman book that ever existed. I didn't realize it was a retelling.
Have you read Daredevil Yellow, Hulk Gray,
No.
Spider-Man Blue?
No.
I think you would love all of those.
Okay.
That's all of those are Tim Sale, Jeff Loeb,
Retelling
teamings.
origins.
Yeah, and sometimes origins, sometimes just takes on them that are unique, and they're all sort of out of continuity, interesting, and
one shots.
yeah. And Tim Sale's art, I love his
great.
his
I would
art.
love to see a Gray Batman, other than that terrible short film we got.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that.
Well, I think that the best Batman. I mean, he started in Detective Comics.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
and the best Batman stories tend to be
He's a PI,
mysteries,
basically. Yeah, right.
and detective stories, and figuring out the crime, and these, you know, what Jeff Loeb is doing in this, and what he did in Hush, which he did with Jim Lee, is establishing a mystery, and then seeing him figure it out. And what I love, the best mystery stories, I mean, I don't want to give too much away about the end, but it is that there's a solution. There are multiple solutions given the evidence.
Right.
And all of them seem equally plausible, and all of them also seem equally surprising. And so when one is laid out, you can go, oh, yeah, that's awesome. And then, no, this is what really happened. And you're like, oh, well, that's even more awesome. And then there's a third one where it's like, no, this is what's been happening all along. And I think that it's rare in great mystery tales to get that kind of, it's like the end of the movie Clue.
Right, yeah.
Where it's like, these three things all equally plausible and all equally surprising and interesting.
Yeah.
And Jeff Loeb manages to pull that off in this story. And
What a wonderful little point you just made.
well, thanks, Danny.
That's
Anyway.
a very
Hey,
good
what
point.
was that moment? Why wasn't I involved in that moment?
You didn't
You also
compliment
said
me.
things that were.
Your hair looks stunning.
This is why people. Never mind.
Nice shirt.
All right, so go out and read some Batman stories for Halloween.
We should read Superman Pants
for
and
All
Hands.
Seasons.
Superman.
For all
I think it's
seasons.
Superman for all seasons.
Oh.
Well, before we wrap this rad train up,
Halloween
style, spooky. We want to thank Quentin Laux for sending in his Totally Rad Show pumpkin carving.
Awesome.
Amazing. Are you kidding me?
So cool.
So
You
rad.
gotta love the rad pumpkin carving. So let's get into our Halloween themed email. Question. Jason Anderson asks, what if you guys were granted a golden ticket for the most rad Halloween costume ever? If Top Effects gurus would build you anything you wanted, what would you choose? Some examples. Full Master Chief costume. RoboCop.
Wow.
StarCraft Space Marine. Anything.
That's awesome.
So, Danzig, what do you think?
Well, I wouldn't mind a better Quato outfit.
I'm sure you wouldn't.
But if it was like top line special effects,
Yeah,
and I
anything
could go
you
with
want.
anything, like the wave from the Perfect Storm.
The wave from the perfect storm.
I could be a giant wave. If I don't want to do something that I could just build if I was really crafty myself. I have top of the line special effects. ILM. I'll be a giant wave.
Well,
Walk
he-
into the room and people are like, dude,
from Perfect
you're
Storm.
the wave from the perfect storm.
Yeah, girls are like, oh, Daddy.
Way to be topical and that's
Wow.
awesome.
But that also speaks to how Dan feels of Halloween. You know what I mean? That also speaks to how Dan
Well,
does
what
his
does it speak?
costumes.
What does it say?
You're outside the box guy. You
Yeah.
come up with costume ideas, and I'm like, wait, I would
I
never.
had no idea you loved the perfect storm so much.
I don't.
Well, Jeff, in lieu of the Perfect Storm comment, what about you?
Can't top that. That's all I want to. The Twister from Twister. I don't know.
I thought of that too.
No. What I was going to
Let's
say.
go. Let's bring it back to
I'm sorry.
reality.
That
Love it.
epic. I can't top that. The thing that I thought of first was, I remember seeing on the internet this awesome video of somebody who made their own Transformers.
Yes.
And it
Oh,
transformed into a
man.
car. It
Yes.
was like all cardboard.
It was awesome.
How badass would it be to have full-on old school, not the movie,
I agree.
Transformer.
That's way
that
easier to make, I'm just saying.
Actually transforms, and you could be like, I'm a car. I'm like,
Hey!
look at me. Give me some candy. And then I'm a robot. Give me some more candy. 2 times the candy.
Well, now that I didn't realize the ethical implications that were going to be brought up by the double Dutch. That said, genius. Mine probably not as genius, but I would like to go as an Imperial Scout Walker,
AT-AT?
an AT-ST.
ATST.
Okay.
Because clearly an
That's pretty
AT-AT would
awesome.
just be a little bit, but just walking, you're like, almost
God.
like the RoboCop second one, Ridley from Aliens in the thing.
Ripley. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's bad.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I was saying,
You're like
if we
grabbing
had-
sodas.
Going back to the like amazing special effects.
Yeah.
It's not practical. Like if I could be a brownie from Willow, one of the little guys, so I could like sit on your
Dude.
shoulder, be like, do-do-do-do.
It's also good. Where's
Where's Dan at the Halloween party? Oh, he's in the other room in that green screen studio. Walk in front of this projector. He'll talk to you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my ATSD is way more easy.
I think it's funny that we all picked non-humans. You know,
Because
like,
we could be humans.
Well,
Look,
Brett,
I made Guile.
Not even human. No, we didn't pick. You picked vehicle. You picked an act of nature.
And you picked both vehicle and active nature. Amazing.
Anyway.
Well, I guess that's it. If you have an email to send to us, you can do so by sending it to fans@totallyradshow.com.
That's also where you'd send awesome backgrounds like our buddy Avonwell did. Very cool Halloween background. And check out our forums at totallyradshow.com. Click on discussion forums. Really cool. We talk every week about the episode that has come out. There's also all kinds of other discussions. You know, actually, what I want to do, I think would be great, is start a forum thread of everybody's Halloween costume. What did you take a picture of yourself, post it in the thread.
We need pictures.
So we can see what everybody went as this year.
Totally.
It'd be really fun.
Yeah.
So check the forums for that.
Also on the website is the rad recommendations. So for some of the stuff that we talked about on the show, if you want to go buy that, it's available on the sidebar on the main page.
Correct. Pick up Long Halloween or something. Easy way to find it. Click on our sidebar.
Totally.
Hopefully it's available.
Also on the website is movies, video games, television, news. Every day, throughout the day, updated latest news. It's the stuff that we're checking out. Give you guys the scoops.
Right.
Correct.
And there's the MySpace, myspace.com/totallyradshow. Become our friend. Find out the movie. As of the taping, you already know the movie we are talking about this week.
That blows my mind. I don't even know what that means. Also, head over to jinx.com/TRS where you can click on the Get Rad Gear button on our website, and you can get yourself some rad gear. And baby tees are coming, and some other cool products are coming. Suck us.
That's a Jewish holiday.
Oh, it's good.
And I hope everyone has a very safe, happy Halloween.
Yes,
cut your candy.
Cut your candy open to make sure there are no razor blades or cancer.
Don't wear, a dark outfit. Wear reflectors if you're going as.
Don't wear a
Batman or
T-shirt
something.
that has your own first name on it because they can trick you sometimes and say, "Hey Dan, your mom told me to come pick you up."
Oh my lord!
Wow, that got creepy.
Yeah.
Well, have a happy Halloween from us, the Totally Rad Show, guys. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Kanata.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Tosta la tosta.
I almost laughed at the theme to 18 there for a second. Look at what's happening
to me.
Is it? Believe
I can't believe in myself.
Yeah, that's the chorus.
Is that it?
Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. Should have been somebody else.
Dun 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 dun. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free.
Run!